a dung heap. I got a crossbow. I like shooting now and then, and once in a while I go for groundhogs, but I'm not that steady holding things. And I was looking at Cabela's and online, and they have tripods there to hunt from, or shooting sticks. But they wanted too much money for one. Some of them tripods they were asking for, now they're pretty solid, but still. $130? Yeah, no. Well, I just happened to be at Home Depot the other day, and I saw this. This is a tripod. An automatic water irrigation. Well, it's pretty heavily built. Let me get a little better picture of it here. Zoom out so you can see it. There we go. Pretty heavily built, and with a little modification, like by adding this on top. I use this for the very tripod that the camera's sitting on right now, so it would hold my crossbow before. But since I needed to use it for the camera, I figured this one I could make into one that I could use all the time. So this cost 30 bucks. It was on sale. So how am I going to pass that up? I couldn't. Now, I usually try to make things out of junk, which I'm going to do here, some of it. But sometimes you need new pieces, which just started things. Yeah, I could have made three broomsticks and put them together and made a tripod. But yeah, ass is ass, and I ain't going to do that. This, we're going to see what happens today. Will this be ass? Maybe, maybe not. My goal is, since this, I did some prep work on this, because setting this thing up, this video is probably going to take forever as it is, and for me to gather all these pieces during the video, it's a million things to cut and do whatever, and I'm not going to do that. So I went around and gathered some things and got some ideas in my head first before I went ahead. So I set some of this thing up. I prepped it a little bit. So I got that piece that screws right down in there, and this right here, which will work to attach this to. You get the picture? And that for a knob. The only problem is there's no hole through that and there's no threads in it. So a couple things I got to do. This got to be cut down on the lathe. I'm going to cut it flush so that this will ride on here eventually. Then I've got to figure out a way to get that metal piece out of there. I'm thinking about heat. Just heat it and extract it. And then maybe center this up on the, I might center this up on the lathe anyway and do a center hole in that. That way I'll know it'll be dead nuts right in the center, so I can put a hole in there. And then maybe attach a nut down in there with some epoxy so that this will spin on this. This will come up through here. Am I going to be successful? Well, I don't know for sure, but I'm going to try. I did a little other prep work too. I cut the bottom piece off of this. This is where your hose would attach here, because I don't need that. What I needed was just a straight shot so this could go up, and this rod could pass up and down. And I'm not going to be attaching a hose to it, so there was no need to keep this on there. All right. I guess I'll get started. First thing I'm going to do is, when I cut this off, the pipe threader, peen that over, so it made the end of the hole smaller. So there's a ridge around there that needs to be taken off. I'm going to take that ridge off. Can you see this? Oh, okay. I guess so. Maybe peek down a little bit there. There we go. Let's see how this goes. Okay, that's off. Now, what I needed to see is this. That's that in there. Okay. I'm going to use this for a spacer over this threaded rod. Go in here. So this slides up and down, so there's not any wobble, or not much. At the top, I'm going to, no, that's not the top. At the top, where this hole is going to be, I'm going to knock this hole in, I'm going to put this in a lathe and drill this out. I'm just going to leave enough tolerance in there, barely any space, for this to pass through, so it should support it some. Okay, so what do I need to do? Let me see. I guess I'll shut you down and set up over by the lathe and get started on cutting these up. So I got this thing all dug out and set up. This thing's kind of a pain in the ass to do. It's so damp out in this garage. I mean, I keep this thing covered, but I got to clean the surface rust off of it and clean everything up and all the surfaces and everything to get this thing back in moving order. Alright, so here's the handle, the adjustment handle, and here's the center drill. I'm going to knock a hole in the center of this, then I'm going to go back out and put a bigger bit in and see if I can't drill that to remove that metal piece out of the center. Again, so I can run the threaded rod in there. I got to put something in there, a nut in there, and attach it somehow. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to go yet, but I figure I'll give this a try. Okay. I guess it would help if I tighten down the drill bit. Let's try that again. Getting a little warm and started to melt. Precise measurement, yeah. What am I doing about here? See what this comes up with when I go through. Not sure how this is going to react or anything. Hell, I'm not even sure if this drill gets straight. Yeah. Doesn't look like it. Okay, I think this one is. really didn't expect it to start cutting into that metal. I guess that rubber had a pretty good grip on that piece of metal that was in there. I'm going to try something. I'm going to see if I have a die as big as that threaded rod that's going to go through here. I'm going to turn threads into this. This isn't going to hold much weight. I mean, really, once you get this set into place, and it's not going to be a lot of wear and tear on it. I'm going to try running threads through this and see if I can get that threaded rod to thread right into this itself. So I think there's enough meat in there for it to do it. Alright, I'm going to get set up on that. Got that rubber handle all set up in the vise. That adjustment knob really is what it is. Found what I think to be the right one. It's a 3/8 16 thread. 3/8 inch diameter with a 16 threads per inch. So I'm going to try to run this down through here, see how this goes. The hole is a little bit small, but that's alright. This is plastic or rubber, so this will chew a little better than it would be if it was metal. If it was metal, you'd have to drill a larger hole to get this started because it wouldn't have enough. It would be taking too much meat, and you'd end up either snapping the tap or screwing something up, or you may not get it to go at all. So I would rather have this a little bit tight anyway to grip on that ball thread as it goes up and down so that it's not loose. So you get an adjustment and then you have an adjustment. Really don't want it to rattle much if I can help it. You know, again, I'm not sure where this is going to go, but it seems to be taking this pretty nice. I think that's going to be an extremely tight fit. We're at all thread to go down through here. But I'll work it a little bit here to see if I can get some play. I don't quite remember what this rubber knob was from. I'm thinking maybe a workplace light adjustment, I think. I don't know. I keep things when things go junk. I think I'll need a handle or a knob or yeah. It should be like yeah. Well, you know about that. cut that lip off of there, that extra excess. That needs to go. Do that. I might could even fill that in with a little bit more if it needed it. I don't know that it will. Put some silicone in there. Maybe some hot melt glue. But so far that looks like it's going to work. Adjust the height. Okay, let me flip this around. Get back to the other bench. And see how that piece I made fits down in there and how this sits on there and how rocky it is and what kind of bushing I'm going to need down at the bottom of this. Up top here, if it's being held up here, down here there's still some. The higher you come up, the more wobble there could be. So what I'm going to do is see if I can need a bushing. I was thinking about putting a piece of rubber hose on there which goes inside of that pipe. I'll show you in a second here. I'll take this all over. All right. Let's use motor oil that I'm using to lubricate this. I figured, what the hell? Why throw it away when I can use it for something? Do that pass through. Yep, it's hot. Alright, I think it's successful. I won't play around too much. Hey, yeah. Now I'm gonna face that off. I'll hit that on the sander probably. Just buzz that sharp edge off of there. That should be enough. Screw down the top of there. Keep that from rocking. Maybe. We'll see. I may fall flat on my ass on this. Who knows? I put climbing projects together. It's a lot of time in projects and struggle with things, redid things, and in the end, it didn't work out as well as I thought it was going to. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but keep doing things. Beats watching TV, right? Alright, what this is going to be essentially that threaded, well, it's going to be a bushing type thing that's going to take up the space in the top. It's going to go down in the throat of the top of that of the tripod. I'm going to drill this out to near as guys as I can for drill bits. I mean, I have an inside cutting tool, but I don't think it'll fit in that. The bar is too big to make this diameter of a cut. So we're going to drill this out so that all thread will glide in there and it'll take up the space. It won't slop around too much. Alright, saw thread might be a little long. Well, yeah, I might be able to get away with that. Okay, there's a piece I made. It screws right into here. Luckily it's an old broken, that's a hydraulic fitting of some kind, but this is a water fitting, so they're the same. I got lucky on that. It was just here, I don't know. I think this is off an old tractor I had that was hydraulic fitting, I think. So, let's see what we get. Yeah, okay. Power tool. Save time. Alright, that might be a little bit high. That looks like that's going to work though. Went too far. See, that's a little shaky, so what I was going to do, that tail, it's sticking out down at the bottom there. See the play? Let's see if I can't heat this piece of hose and slide that up over there, so that that'll go in there and take up that space. So that'll give me, should be much better, and that'll still give it enough room. It'll pull up and down with this as it goes, but it doesn't completely, it doesn't fit tight in here, but it should take up enough space. I put a piece on there, maybe, I don't know, 1 inch long or 2 inches long, and I'm gonna have to heat that though. I'm never going to be able to push that on there like that. I mean, possibly if I got it on there, I might be able to screw it in place. If I could hold this to the outside, I don't know, it's a pretty fat diameter to be running up that hose. We'll see. Yeah, that might work. You think I can screw that together? Screw it up on there? Yeah, maybe. It might go. Let me get a piece here. It's big enough. But I think it holds solid, steady. Okay, that's lost forever. There it is, I found it. Okay. All right, what I'm going to do, get the heat gun and heat that up. But first, I got to find a pair of gloves. Oh, all right, magic. Found a pair of gloves. Okay, we back up so you can see. I don't know if you can see that. No, you cannot. Back up a little more. I guess that's it. All right. This there from the top, run that down there, just spin that down through so that it sticks out, because I won't be able to put this on and slide it down through here because there's a neck in there that's smaller around than that thing, and I'm not going to try to pound that through. It's just do things in right order, I guess. Okay. Now let's be sure this goes up in, oh, that goes up in there. Sweet. Okay. Gloves on. Now let me think. Do I need anything else? No. I can do anything whatever else I need to do from the top. And I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do here yet. Whether I'm going to just make that hole bigger, put that on there. Like that. You know, it's going to be down a little bit, but or get fancy. Now this is some other old. This is from years ago when I used to have cameras around this place. Maybe I'll tell you that story someday too. These were outside camera brackets. And you screw into place. See the pivot, the swivel? Another one here. And I mean years ago, back in the 90s, when like nobody had cameras anywhere. Don't know what my luck's going to be to try to braze these two together. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. And for welding, yeah, I could possibly, but it might end up looking like a pile of shit. So I'm not the best welder in the world. See my work before you notice. But that pivot would allow me to, you know, whatever, get on a side hill, do the thing, lean forward, lean back, all that. But I'm not 100% sure I need that. I really don't. But the benefit of this would be, this, I believe, is the same thread as the bottom of cameras. So I would be able to also use this as a backup tripod. That's a high tripod. I got short ones, but this would be like a secondary. But for right now, I'll go with just this Y group, I think, this V. And like I said, this I just made. This is some insulation from a pipe insulation and a piece of metal I had. I bent into the V shape, and I used it on top of my my camera attachment on this. It had a nut on it, which the nut was right there. Screwed this fast to that. I could put it right in my camera tripod, fasten it in. There we go, ready to go. That's a little bit flimsy. This is a little more solid. So, all right, well, enough bullshit. I'm talking too much, I guess. I don't know. Some people that watch these tell me to talk. Other people say I talk too much. This bad rascal's going to be hot. We really should have something to hold this with. Let me try these. Hey, Drumheller, recognize this? Thanks, buddy. I'll get it back to you one day, honest. You didn't seem too worried about it. Now with this, see, I already got her curling up. I need to back up a little bit. I need time to let that, if you get up on it too close, it'll get too hot on the outside and it'll start melting. You got to stay away from it, let the whole thing heat up slowly so that it gets soft through and through. So that not, you set the outside on fire and the inside won't be cooked. You know, kind of like the microwave thing or something. Or is that the other way around? See what we got. Come on, up on there. Go, 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 go. This wouldn't be enough. If I need to, I can. Can you see that? Okay, yeah, all right. Let me bring that up. Yeah, a little tail down there. If I have to, since that's on there like that, I could spin that rod and try to hold on to that. Since the threads will be molded around, since it's hot inside, that made up some threads on its own, and I'll try to spin that and suck that up on there. Yeah, in theory. I think it'll work. just loose like this. We'll bring this down a little more. Afraid that's going to happen. What's happening is this is a little bit too fat to go up in there. So it's hooking on the bottom of the tube, and as I pull this, spin this up, it's pulling down on this. So, okay, I think I got the magic solution. Use a different kind of hose. I'll run this up in here. Hopefully it'll get it. I think it should. It fits. And it fits over the threads. And with that up in there, it goes up in. See? Okay. Beautiful. So now all I gotta do is cut a piece, slide it up in there, get that thread to come. That'll work better. It's like full length, so that should take any slop out of this, whatever there is. Alright, so we're gonna work on that right now. Good thing I keep all this junk, right? Keep that up in there, I don't know. I might have to pin it. Alright, what the fuck's holding? Alright, now that's up in there all the way. I'll see if I can fish this through. Let go. Okay. That up. What do we have here? Back you out. Oh, it does back out. Raise you up. Is it backed out all the way? Oh, yeah, I guess it is. Back you up so you can get the full effect. Okay. Okay, so that's as far down as it's going to go because she's hitting the table. So now, I mount these. I gotta find two nuts, and there we go. I'll be able to turn this any way I want to. And if I need to, I can adjust, put a tilt on it by using the legs, or by tipping the crossbow in it like this. So what I need to do is drill this hole a little bit bigger. I got to find 2 nuts to fit this because, well, how about that? Oh, magic. Look at that. That was the one I was going to embed in that handle, and I didn't because I'm just using the rubber itself as a thread. So, look at that. Right there. I got one there. I have another one here in my pocket. Yep. Okay. Now all I need to do is make that hole big enough. Bigger hole. I'm not sure that's always good, but bigger hole. Right there. Sit there, there. And I'll be able to adjust this down a little more once this is off this table, once I extend the legs out, because I won't be using this at this height anyhow. It'll be on the ground. So I'll put this one down because it's got a wider base on it. I'll need to find a drill bit. For this. Let it fit. Well, that's almost there. Almost. Okay. No. Yep. Nothing the right size here. We'll get one. You know what? I'll grab that one out of the way. Yeah, no, this is going to be stupid. I really should put this in a lathe. I mean, in a vise. Grab 50 wrenches, but you none of them fit. Or maybe not. Maybe this. Okay, we're doing a cheater here. Little piece of shit. This is one of those open-end ratcheting things, which is like about as useful as bull tips. One of the better ideas from Sears. Innovation. You notice they innovated themselves right out of business. Wonder why that is. Hey, up we go. Yeah. Okay, so now what I got to do is I'll take this up. Oh wow, we're out in outer space here. Here we go. Back it up. Farther away, farther away. I'll take this out, set it up. I'll shut this off for now and set it up and see how it works with the crossbow. I know it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass because of the limbs coming back, but I can also use it with my air rifle. So, okay, so I'll be right back. All right. There's the finished product. I decided to use my air rifle with this. Doesn't look too bad. I already had it up in it once. I didn't take any shots yet. I tried with the crossbow, but I'm going to have to modify these. These are going to have to come down lower. See, I used this with the air rifle before, so it worked. But with the the string, what comes back here, and these are too high, right here. Need to be down about in there someplace. Okay, that target's about 30 yards away. This gun is good. I've had a 3-inch pattern at 100 yards with this, but for here, I'm not at my range. I'm just gonna plunk around here in the backyard with this just to show a practice shot or two with this. See how it works with this tripod. That's the target out there. It's actually an archery target, but it won't matter. Like I said, this is an air rifle. I mean, it will go right through that, but it'll slow it down enough, and there's nothing behind there. There's woods, and it's good. That's as close as I can get you with this. I'd set my GoPro up out there, but I can't seem to get my GoPro to. I can see the video on the GoPro, but when I pull the SIM card or the SD card out and put it in my Chromebook, all I get is sound and no picture. So until I get that figured out, I can't use that. I don't know what the SD card's corrupted. I don't know. Technology. Alright, so here goes. About 3 inches too low. That could be because it was overpressured. I had it up 3600, and these are some light bullets. The way the valves work on these things, I won't go into a heavy explanation. But once the power comes down, it should pick up a little bit. Yeah, that one even sounded faster. That's better. It's up. sometimes when they're overpowered like that, too much, it keeps the check valve from, it holds too much pressure on it and keeps it from releasing. It closes too fast and it doesn't let enough air out to push the bullet down the barrel. I'm at about 3,100 pounds right now. I don't know what that is in bar. I guess I'll have to memorize that. That one sounded faster yet, and it's up, and I'm holding on the same spot. Now that's climbed about 8 inches in those 3 shots. There's a lot of dope on these air rifles. You have to know where they're going to be and know where they shoot. These are lighter than I usually shoot. These are 250 grains. I usually run about 350s. These 250s were just for plunking around. I wanted to see whatever. And I wanted to try them, but I haven't shot with them enough and dialed everything in. But at 350 grains, at around 900 feet a second. Now see, that's awful. I've cut tighter patterns than that at 100 yards. But I'm doing this offhand. So, I mean, I'm using the tripod, but I'm not really digging down. That's just a brace, kind of, if I was to go hunting with it. But for stabilizing, it's good. I'm too shaky. Like standing freehand, this will work too. I could extend this all the way up and it'll work for me standing. That's where I kind of have the problem. Let me stay there. You ain't gonna stay there, are you? Okay, that should stay. But this works nice for adjustment. Screws that right up. You can do it with your thumb, zero it right in. As you're sitting. Works good. Spins free and easy. Bring it down. It'll wear in a little bit. That rubber's binding on it a little something, something. But to bring that up, just bring that up with your thumb. And it don't look that bad. I mean, I guess. So, all in all, 30 bucks. And it's pretty heavy. I mean, heavy duty. It's definitely heavier than that tripod right there. Okay, I guess that's it for today. Thanks. I think it looks all right. $30. I'm happy with it, and it'll do what I want it to, so